Chairman.
Thank you very much, Senator Gillibrand. Senator Ernst, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, gentlemen, very much for being here today. And General Cotton, thank you for speaking with me last month regarding your commander's assessment, including on the SLCM. And I do appreciate the letter that you responded with to the chairman and ranking member, affirming that SLCM offers additional options and supports an integrated deterrence approach. So I brought a copy of the letter today. Really appreciate you responding to my colleagues and I. And Mr. Chairman, I request that the general's letter be entered into the record.
Without objection.
And the president's budget request should reflect this assessment. We feel that that is very, very important. And again, thank you very much for doing your commander's assessment. General Cotton, the 2022 China Military Power Report estimates that China will field 1,500 nuclear weapons by 2035, and that rivals U.S. deployments under New START. And I know we've been hammering down on this. This is such an important topic for all of us. Do you agree that we must reassess our strategic deterrence requirements given China's nuclear breakout?
Senator Ernst, thanks for the question. Absolutely. I think we need to reassess our strategy, or at least take a look at our strategy, our current strategy, and have a force posture conversation.
Thank you. And after New START, the U.S. and Russia, and of course China too, might be without strategic arms constraints. Would you agree that the U.S. should prepare to upload its non-deployed nuclear weapons to shore up deterrence?
Senator, I always have flexible deterrent options.
Very good. I hope everybody hears that loud and clear. How quickly can we upload each leg of the triad?
Ma'am, I'd rather have that conversation in closed session.
Thank you. We look forward to that classified answer. And General Cotton, and I'm just going to go into generals here, kind of general answers, because you are generals. We might need to consider additional measures to ensure the credibility of our deterrent. So, in general, would you agree that placing a portion of the bomber force on day-to-day alert would increase its flexibility?
As a former Joint Forces Air Component Commander, I'd like to have that conversation in closed session because I can actually do that without putting them on alert.
Okay. And in general, would you agree that moving some of the ICBM force to mobile platforms would increase survivability?
In general.
In general. In general, would deploying SLCM-N expand our at-sea deterrent?
I think it would address our adversary perceived advantage of limited use.
Thank you. And in general, would deploying ground-based theater range nuclear forces bolster our deterrent?
I would like to talk to you about that one in closed session if we can.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that. I think that it's important that we continue to have those discussions and understand what our flexibility and options are as we continue to support our nuclear triad. So thank you very much for that. And General Dickinson, just in the time that I have left, in your efforts with the Combined Space Operations Initiative member nations, I did notice that you had met recently with space leaders from South Korea and Japan. How is the space integration improving with these non-Five Eyes members?
Thank you for the question. That's a great initiative, the Combined Space Operations Initiative board that we have. We just met in New Zealand a few months back, and that's the Five Eyes plus France and Germany. But outside of those, South Korea and Japan in particular, we are working very closely with them. In fact, to the point where we are doing exercises with them. So we have an exercise program called Global Sentinel, which is an unclassified exercise program where we do space domain awareness training. And so they are included in that, plus 22 other nations as well. And that has been very successful. We also have the Space Force as well as U.S. Space Command have personnel serving on the peninsula now. Not large numbers, but small numbers, but we're integrating with the forces, the Korean forces on the ground in Korea as well as in Japan.
Thank you. I think it's incredibly important that we continue to work with nations around the globe. And, Mr. Chairman, I want to associate myself with the comments that Mr. Rounds had as well. I think it is very important that we listen to our military leadership and, based on your best military advice, make those decisions that are best for the defense of our nation. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, Senator Ernst. Senator Warren, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So the Biden administration is requesting $835 billion in one of the largest Pentagon budgets in history.